Sound check. Anybody on? Sound check. Anybody on? Yep, that works. All right. What do we got here? Let's bring the old chat up. Oops, so far quiet. Just a continuation of what we're doing yesterday. Training for competition. February 28th. I want to say Vista, California. Sound off if you're online. Let's switch to chat here. Live chat. What's up, Bob? Bob, I was going to do squats, but off camera I was getting a little supplementary bench in. Start my first day of work tomorrow. Man, I tell you what, man, I've been watching YouTube all day, pretty much, this Sunday. And I am really, really disappointed in the online veteran community. There's a ton of people that are speaking out about what's going on in Venezuela. And, like, I can kind of understand the sentiment about being anti-war and not wanting to start another conflict, but, like, there's a larger than 0% of people that are advocating a socialist dictatorship. And it just blows me away. It's like, who the fuck? And from veterans, too. Like, people that, they're calling it another Iraq. And I'm like, well, no. In Iraq, we removed the government. In Venezuela, we removed somebody that refused to step down when he was elected out of office. Big difference. It'd be interesting to see if they allow the candidate that was supposed to win, if that person, didn't she, I think she was under threat of death, like, moved to the U.S. or something. I don't really know all the specifics behind it, but mixed martial artist, what's up? My wife's in the chat. She's the only other sane person I know. Like, I mean, literally, like, there's a march in Oregon to free Maduro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, until you've had to wait in a bread line for a day and maybe had to eat one of your dogs because your family's starving, like, till you have to cook your pets. Oregon versus Indiana, who's going to win? I have no idea. I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to pick Indiana because it's close to where I grew up, and that's the most I can tell you about it. Cooper Kasich says, what's up? Holy, hi fucking cock. How you doing, Ann Larkin? That's how you greet someone. God damn it, I love YouTube. The last few months, I was, not that I would have, but I was legitimately thinking about doing YouTube full time and taking on training clients. And, I could make a couple $1,000s a month, and with my VA benefits and what I make off of YouTube, we probably could have eked by and been okay. But instead, I'm going back to work, and I'm just thinking, like, why would I want to go to work 80 or 40 hours a week or do YouTube full time? And just like reading the chat reminds me, like, yeah, like, would I really want to put up with this for a living? God damn it. It's good entertainment, but full time, I don't know. I think my dignity is worth more than this. So Buffalo 50 says you need motivation. What kind of motivation are you looking for? I was gonna say I'm wearing pretty tight pants. That should be motivating. How may I be of assistance? Awesome Hannah says hello. Cooper says bruh. Dang, bro, I didn't know you were full gay. Just don't tell my wife. Oh, wait, she's in the chat. Babe, don't listen to them. I swear, I like vagina. I'm doing okay. Whew. Uh, why so, Zyro? Your level will remain unrequited. If you're trolling for dick, though, I would think YouTube's not the right place for that. You could probably do better somewhere else. Steven Sullivan, Semper Fi, brother. Well, I hope you guys are joking. If you're going to be rude, be funny. Yeah, we're not. I mean, am I coming off like I'm taking this seriously? Mixed martial artist, I'm so motivated by twinks. Can you be a twink at the age of 52 almost? Is that possible? I mean, I know I look pretty young for my age, but I'm still pretty wrinkly. Why so, Zyro? No, I'm glad you're back, brother. It's been a while. Yeah, Smart Gamer's not around. I don't know what he's doing. Hope he's okay. It's a late Christmas gift. I'm gonna do some overhead press. Hey Bob, how many reps did I just do that for? That's 315 on there, huh? What was that, 6 reps I just did that for? They used to call me Twink when I was younger. I know one guy, I was dating this girl, her name was Rachel, and she always had this dude around, and I got really jealous of this guy because I thought that there was something going on between them. And then I found out that he was gay. Like, I didn't know. And I overheard them talking one day, and he said to Rachel, he said that I was the prettiest man he's ever seen. And I was like, what does that mean? Is that like? Do you? I wasn't sure if I should feel offended or not. To be like, if you saw some pictures of me when I was younger, like 20 years younger, you'd understand. I made In Sync look like the A Team. Let's put it that way. Matter of fact, if you go to my community page, I think I posted some pictures, and I got one where it was like right after boot camp. I think I was in maybe half a year, and it's in my dress blues, and I look like I'm 12 years old. Some guy, some sergeant major says, "Does your mama know you're playing Marine?" That's always nice. The body beatdown. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? I was talking to some people about the drama in the lifting community. People like, the small circle of lifters that seem to harass each other, and they're always competing with each other. And my name kept coming up, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why, because I don't really do anything with them. And I know you've had some run-ins with them, and I always tell guys, like, if you're serious and you want to like really do YouTube, you got to divorce yourself from that, like, because that little group of people, they hold each other down. If you think about it, there's one or two people that could have potentially really good channels. I don't want to say names or anything, but because they're in that little vomitorium of just, it's like, I don't know, it reminds me of like in high school, like the smoking area. I don't know if I'm probably really dating myself, but back when I was in high school, out in the back behind the gymnasium, there was like this little area that you were allowed to smoke in, but you had to be inside of the square. And inside of that square, every single day were like the same five losers, and they all just like basically harassed everybody around them. But all the people that they harassed kind of just looked at them like, "Who the fuck are you?" And they moved on with their day and subsequently their lives. And I keep thinking of like the lifting community is like that same five, that little handful of denizens who were talking shit 4 or 5 years ago when I first started YouTube, and they're going to be talking shit years after we're gone. And they literally think that they're like the gatekeepers of YouTube lifting. And they say things like nobody cares about powerlifting and you're stupid and your lifts don't count and like, all that bullshit. But I just keep trying to like explain to people like I don't care what you think. Like I'm not doing this for you. Like, I don't know how to convince these people that they just don't. They're not part of my calculus. You know, like I don't think about them when I get offline. I don't make videos about them. I don't talk about them. I don't care. And I don't even mean like I don't care in a bad way. Like I don't fucking care. I mean like I don't care. Like you said, who's gonna win, Oregon or Indiana? I'm like, what sport are we talking about? Like, okay, I couldn't tell you. Can you tell me equipment what I should start with? A small tip. I'll tell you what I started with. I started with a barbell, two 45-pound plates, and I wound up cutting a tennis ball like a star, and I jammed it on the end of the barbell, and I stuck it in the corner of the room, and I made myself a fulcrum, a super schizoid, if you want to get engineering technical, landmine. And for the longest time, that was my gym. And you could do anything with that. You could do squats, you could do presses, you could one arm, you could do rows with it. And that's all I could afford. That's all I had room for. After that, I, went to estate sales, garage sales, picked up dumbbells, and eventually got this half rack for helping some guy move. He didn't want to take it with him, so he gave it to me. It's got that awesome little cable machine on there, which is why I won't get rid of it. Over time, I just started building equipment up. But I'm telling you, like, so my first bench was a piano bench, like, from a music store, like the little seat you sit on. Oh, it's this thing that I'm sitting on. And a gas pipe, so I had a 2-inch gas pipe, and I would put brake rotors on it because I was doing a lot of automotive work. And I don't know how much each rotor weighs. I'm guessing 30 pounds, some 25, 30 pounds. I would just slap rotors on this fucking thing and I would bench press it. For farmer's carry, I would get that same pipe. I would put 2 5-gallon buckets and fill it up with rocks or nuts and bolts or sand or whatever the fuck. And I would use that to do squats. I would, walk up and down the street with it. I used to curl, what is it called? The 5-gallon water jugs. Water weighs 8 pounds a gallon, roughly 8.2, something like that, depending on the specific gravity. Curling fucking jugs, rowing them, like just find heavy shit, pick it up, sandbags. So as far as equipment goes, you don't really need anything fancy. Now, obviously, it's way more efficient. And it's nicer to have stuff. And if you're going to become a power lifter, you probably want to get some of the equipment you're going to be competing with so that you can play the way you practice. But just to get started, fuck man, what do we do? We had a Bowflex that we got out from, who the fuck did we get that Bowflex from, babe? That thing, I when I became too strong for the little bands that were on there, we went to the fucking AutoZone and we bought those little what are those little bungee cord things that you tie shit down with in your vehicle, and I started hooking up bungee cords. Like, you just fucking work with what you got, You look up Herschel Walker. He used to be a running back for the Cowboys before they had what's his name, the guy that had the highest yards of all time. who the fuck? Who's the running back for the Cowboys? What's his name? Yeah, Walter Payton, Emmett, 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 Emmett Smith. Anyway, before him there was Herschel Walker, and then I think he played for the Vikings. Now he's yoked, and I think in the age of 51 or 52 he became an MMA fighter, and he had a couple fights, but I wasn't against anyone noteworthy. But regardless, guy was in phenomenal shape for his age. And when he was talking about his routine, he did not lift weights at all. He did all body weight exercises. So he would do an excess of 5,000 push-ups a day, pull-ups, and the variation of push-ups, he would do them standing against the wall. He would do them leaned up against stuff. And he would just crank out like sets of 20 to 100, and then all day long, this motherfucker's just doing push-ups. You imagine, I tried to do his routine when I was working up at the rare earth mine, and we were working 12-hour shifts, and I was in a control room, which is watching boards operating the chemical plant. So I had nothing to do, so I would just do sets of push-ups, as many as I could each set. I mean, it'd start out with like 40, and then 20, and 10, and 5. All shift long I did these, and I would notch off, every time I would do 20 push-ups, I would put another hash mark, and cross it. The most I was ever to do in 12 hours was 2,500, roughly, right around there. So, in order for you to get Herschel Walker numbers, 5,000 push-ups a day. Can you imagine that? And so what is the point I'm trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is you don't need any equipment. But there's a couple things that has to happen. You have to cause your body enough stress to force an adaptation. Meaning, if you did 1,000 push-ups every single day for the rest of your life, your body will be adapted to 1,000 push-ups, and you will not get any bigger or stronger. Even though you're fucking doing 1,000 push-ups a day, something has to increase. Either the weight, the reps, the resistance, whatever. Something's got to go up. So, when it comes down to like what equipment do you need to get started, whatever you have that will cause your body to adapt to stress, that's what you need. And like ideally, what is that? A barbell, a landmine, whatever, water jugs, like I said, brake rotors, whatever you got laying around. And then over time, you start tailoring your equipment to what you want to do specifically. Where are my colors? Look at these apart. Oh, feeling a little bloated. I'm gonna go with a medium grip here. Symmetry. All right. Oh, Charles, you're an awesome guy. Thank you, awesome Hannah. What exercise are you doing today? I was gonna do the squats, but dude, I was just feeling froggy, man. I feel like my strength is catching up with me so fast that I wanted to push it a little bit and see if I could get some supplementary bench in. Mostly just in case. I'm not sure what my work schedule is going to look like, but they were talking about me working 10-hour shifts. So it sounds like my new job starts tomorrow, 9 o'clock. And there's a good chance I might be married to work for a little bit. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be look like. So I guess I was kind of panicking and trying to get some like little extra volume in today just in case the week fucks me over. If that makes sense. William S. Age is a critical factor. The younger body needs calories. You're right. You know what? Honestly, I've been tracking my macros. Every time I say that, I'm gonna slap myself for even using that word. I've been tracking the food I fucking eat, and I've noticed that I'm only taking in about 0.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And not that, I'm probably right around 3,500 calories total. Most of it's, easily digestible carbs. And I just don't really need to. Plus, I've been maintaining a weight class, so I've always been right around 220, give or take 10 pounds. So, there's something to not needing to fucking stuff yourself to the gills to make gains, but my needs compared to like say someone else who's just starting out trying to get stronger, I would say for me, more than putting muscle on, it's creating a neural efficiency, like the brain using the muscles that I already have more efficiently, like being able to recruit more of your muscle mass when you're pushing, as opposed to me trying to put slabs of muscle on, or it's like maximizing what you already have. Any absent Jarl? Hell yeah. I don't know what the fuck 260 joules are, but I really appreciate it. Happy New Year, brother. Uh, New truck rants. Boy, I tell you what, I got one coming. I was online today and I am fucking pissed off at the veteran community for the way they're talking about what we're doing down in Venezuela. These fucking retards. um, I'm, look, I think in order for you to post opinion videos on social media, you should have an IQ test, and if you're below 90, you should maybe, I don't know, have someone preview it before you put your opinion out there. Like these dumb motherfuckers are not only like adamant about their stupid opinions, but they think that they act like they speak for the majority of us, and it pisses me off. Am I doing any squats today? Yes. Fuck yeah. Uh, Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, this one veteran, I don't remember what his name was. He was on TikTok. And he was saying to all active duty members, when you come home from Venezuela, just know that the country does not support you. And you'll be seen like you're criminals. And he was saying like all active duty personnel have the moral authority to refuse lawful orders. So if they're down there and they're told to bomb or attack, they should refuse those orders because they're immoral. And I'm like, that's not how the military works, dude. And I'm like, who the fuck? Who are you speaking for? You chuckle fuck? But the disturbing thing is that there's a lot of these videos online, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I was in the Middle East. I know what happened there. Being able to activate the most number of motor neurons. Yes. You fancy science words, muscles. And IQ disclaimer should be mandatory on social media. There's dumb motherfuckers everywhere. And here, okay, let me be clear. I'm a free speech absolutist. So that's why I really don't delete troll comments or you're entitled to a shitty opinion. But don't say you fucking speak for other people. You speak for yourself, you dumb fuck. Red wine is good. I wouldn't know. I haven't had any in years. Can you bench 225? Rewind the video about 20 minutes. Look at you. Did you paint these yourself?
No, I just put them on there like fake press-on stuff.
Jesus Christ, you look like a fucking X-Men. You go out there and just like claw someone's eyes out?
No, I just wanted to wear them because
I'm so fancy. Nobody knows.
Ow! Oh, I just lost one.
Show the nails. It's right here.
Thanks.
Sorry, I think I did that, huh?
I don't know.
You want super glue? So they never come off?
No, thank you. I think I will put on a different pinky nail for this one that's more sticky.
Oh, yeah. Well, super glue works.
No, thank you. I'd rather use nail glue so it actually comes off in the future.
Yeah, super glue comes off, you know.
In like 20 years.
You need some like acetone or, you know, maybe a little bit of heat, like a torch or something. What, hey guys, I have a chemistry background. I should know this. What dissolves super glue? I know it's
you.
It's hydrophilic, so water actually helps cure it.
Good night, Father.
Good night. You going to bed?
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's 9:34. That's right, we got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot of gay people do that from my experience. They try to speak for the entire gay community. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm the first to say that I have opinions and I think I'm right about stuff, but I would never, ever, ever say that I speak for anyone but myself. Acetone. Yeah, I said acetate, huh? So, hey, when I was in the, we had managed to procure a bottle of acetone when I was in 43 area, Las Flores, and we had a big inspection coming up. So I thought, since it smelled like all chemically and stuff, it would really work well on the tiles in the bathroom. So we poured a bottle, and it ate all the fucking grout. It just dissolved it. So now the tiles are just sitting there, and I'm like, uh-oh, that ain't good. Coca-Cola and hand sanitizer. Hell yeah. Oh, but what dissolves super glue? There's a $50 million bounty on the dictator piece of shit. What he did to Venezuela was illegal, and the U.S. military is saying the strategy for kidnapping was illegal. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, why are we crying for a socialist dictator who declared himself, basically God Emperor after he lost an election and just decided, I'm not going to step down. I'm going to just stay in power. Oh, no. Well, hey, Sean Penn's his ally, so there you go. Look, anytime you you got these fucking hipster douchebags that smell like patchouli and feet marching in Oregon for the dispossessed, and they think they speak for the people of Venezuela, and meanwhile they're down there like what was it, in 2020 there was like that huge expose they did where people were eating their pets because there was no food, and the socialists will say, well, got to break a few eggs before you collectivize everything. And what was it, Bernie Sanders with bread lines? That's a good thing. It's a good thing they have bread lines. Yeah, it's fucking great there, Bernie. My dishwasher is Venezuelan, and he's very happy right now. Dude, I'm super happy for him. I mean, we've been saying that motherfucker, like I think we tried to empower them to get after him and the guy that was his predecessor a couple times, and it failed. What was it, back in 2018, 2019, where we the Green Berets trained that group of insurgents, and they had a plan to go fucking take them out, and unfortunately things went awry and it didn't work very well, and they all wound up getting captured, and it was probably a bad day for them. But you look at I don't know, man. It's just like these countries where I was thinking about like Mexico with the cartels and how they're like almost 50% of the gross national product of Mexico, and like if they weren't trying to fight and murder each other, and they actually you can say what you want about the Irish and the Italian mafias and whatnot, during our history, but mostly that was people that were trying to look after their own communities, and they, even though there was organized crime, they took care of their communities and they policed them for the most part. They kept them pretty crime free. The cartels don't do that. They just murder the shit out of anybody who's an inconvenience, and they rule by fear and oppression. And it's like, if they actually organized and took care of the communities, I bet you Mexico wouldn't be I was just trying to imagine it. Like, what would happen if the cartels actually gave a fuck about the communities that they oppressed and used as basically indentured servitude and slave labor? I don't know. He's a dictator, but Trump did it for oil, not to liberate Venezuela. Who gives a fuck? One more socialist dictator bites the dust. And you know what? The oil's in better hands. Now it's no longer funding Russia. Like, and I don't really give a fuck about Trump's motivations either. I'm happy for the Venezuelans, as you should be. You know, say what you want. It's a good outcome's a good outcome. It doesn't matter what the reasoning behind it was. And the bottom line is Maduro asked this for this to happen. You know, like if he would have just did what he was told to do when we went down there in the first place, he got the exact outcome. Like that motherfucker. This is how dumb socialists are. That retard with his open source software that he was using to track his fucking international waters. It's like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Actually thought that he could mount a defense against the U.S. fucking Navy. Are you fucking stupid? For that reason alone, he deserved everything that happened to him. Good times. All right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to lift this, but we're going to try. I'm not a big overhead presser. I never really have been. For me, since I'm a competitive powerlifter, I really don't like to waste my time with stuff that doesn't translate directly to the 3 lifts. And I've never, for whatever reason, no matter how much I do overhead press, I've never gotten that to translate to my bench press. So I just never really focused on it other than for lightweight, high rep stuff, just so I'd have good shoulder health. And so I'm just fucking around. I got the Swiss bar up there. I just want to see how much weight I can put on it. So this is an experiment. I don't even know what grip to use. What is this? What's that, 185? He caught the D from the D boys. Yeah. Dude, my strength is catching up really quickly. Now that I'm training regularly. I don't know about dominating strength. But, I don't know, is that good? So I there was a couple guys that do overhead press a lot. I think with that Wolverine guy. And he would talk shit because he could do like 260, 270, whatever. And I could barely do 225. But I'm thinking I told him, I was like, so you're bagging on me because I can do 2 plates and you can do almost 3. But you train this lift like you're competing every fucking week, and I don't lift this at all, maybe once a month, and I could still do 3/4 of what you're doing. Is that's where you're going with this? And then he stopped making fun of me after that. What I was saying is if I actually trained this lift and I took it seriously and I did it with progression and I trained it weekly, I don't know, I would like to think I'd be pretty good at it. How crucial is warm-up or stretching? I believe that it's critical to do less than 50% of your max or even the barbell. Full range of motion. Nice. Just you don't want to do extreme stretches, but you want to get you want to, tax your tendons and ligaments a little bit. Get them to that stretching point where it's, uncomfortable, and go do a few full range of motion. Get it nice and warmed up. And work up a warm-up lift. Work up to a weight that stimulates that muscle group but doesn't tax it. So a lot of people, they do 2 things wrong. They don't do full range of motion. They don't use good tempo. And they use too much weight on their warm-up sets. Working sets are working sets. Warm-up sets are warm-up sets. They should be totally separate. So basically, you want to watch the volume. You don't want to eat into your working sets. And the reason why that's important is because you're calculating your numbers every week based off of what your working sets produce. And if your warm-up sets eat into those numbers, you're going to get inaccurate results. And you're not going to get the best outcome that you possibly could get. Will you get stronger? Will you get better looking? Yeah, probably. But for like powerlifting, where the difference between first place and 10th place is 5 fucking pounds, you know, that little extra percentage that you're going to eke out makes a big difference. I could have DM'd you on IG, but thanks. I just started monitoring Instagram, so, you know, you guys know I've been through a lot last couple months. And I was isolating, and I wasn't really checking my emails or Instagram messages. But recently, I've been trying to catch up and pay more attention to Instagram. So if you guys message me, I will get back to you, even though I'm a little bit behind and I'm trying to catch up with everybody. So if I don't immediately get back to you, I will. And then if there's a conversation to be had, or even do some video training together, if you know that's not out of the question. I was even thinking about creating a tier membership where I could train 5 or 6 people. That would include like programming on a weekly basis, access to my training team, and then maybe like once or twice a month a video training session. My only hesitation to do that is with me starting this new job, I don't want to offer something that I can't fully commit to. So, but if that's something that would interest you guys, if you guys would be interested in like, I don't know what the amount would be. I was thinking $50 a month, which is dirt cheap for real training. But it's like, you know, you want to get what you pay for. So like if we were one-on-one working together, if you live here in Vegas and you trained with me and I was like you were gonna pay me to be your trainer, and you told me you've never lifted before and you want to compete and win a local competition, I'm gonna probably take you on for somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 for 6 months to a year, and we're married. You're gonna do everything I fucking say, and it's like a real legitimate commitment, and it's gonna be goddamn serious. Like this is not playing around. But if you're just talking about like needing help with programming, some motivation, maybe some form, fix your squat using a video call, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's not that serious, you know. And it's like you just need a little guidance. What is that worth? What would that cost? And you know, I guess it would be kind of different for everybody. But I don't know. I was thinking about offering something along those lines. If I got enough of a response from people that wanted training or to join my team, because you'd also be joining my powerlifting team, which would be registered with the IPL. I have to get at least 5 people, I think. If I got a good enough response, I would consider retiring from commercial construction and doing YouTube full time. But I don't know. There's some ideas I have tossing around in my head. The bike was all in boxes. The guy didn't have the keys there for me to even look at. Oh, shit. Really? Yeah, the Gold Wing. Fuck yeah. So it was all... he took it apart? So I want to set up a Discord, but I need help. I've been asking someone to fucking help me with it, and nobody will. Like, help. I need help. I need somebody to help me moderate it. I need someone to help me set it up. If we're going to get people on there, they're going to ask training questions, and I'm at work 10 hours a day where I can't answer. I need someone to, like, help organize so I can get back to people appropriately, especially if I'm going to charge for memberships. So if I'm dead serious, I want to do a Discord or something similar. So yeah, hell, if you're willing to help me out, let's talk after this. There are membership tiers. Have you checked that out? Yeah, I actually have. You can join. I have a membership. I haven't been advertising it because it's mostly just like rank stickers. If you look at the Wild and Fresh, you see that little Lance Corporal chevron he has next to his name? That's a tier 1 membership, and then over I think it's by how long you've been a member that rank goes up. And one of the things that I have for that membership is a chat room. And since I think Wild and Fresh is my only member, since, uh, it would be appropriate if you help me set the chat room up. And then I got to figure out how to grandfather people's membership. So like obviously Wild and Fresh, like if you're helping me out, I'm not gonna fucking charge you membership. So I need to figure out how I can add people without. There's got to be a way to add someone to a membership without having it charged to them. I would think. Because like, what if you wanted to add your wife or something like that? You're not gonna charge your family members, or maybe I don't know. So this is all stuff that's all new to me, and I started making YouTube videos 4 years ago, and it started out with like fucking using Windows video editing tools to now I'm using Power Director, and now I'm doing streaming, and now I'm trying to figure out like different microphone setups, and I'm looking at this microphone that'll follow me around the garage when I walk around. And Bobby's got some ideas for integrating to other platforms like Twitch and fucking TikTok and shit, and I'm just like, I'm just a stupid idiot that lifts in his weights in his garage, and it hurts my head. I need help. But yeah, I think like the whole point of having the membership to begin with was just to have some kind of an investment, like skin in the game. Because the last time I had a Discord, it was a fucking nightmare. It was nothing but trolls and assholes, and then they were spamming with porn and all sorts of bullshit. And someone said, "Well, you got to charge at least, even if it's $1 or two, just enough for like a real commitment." And then I've got what close to 9,000 subs, and I was looking at my metrics, and like I got a good like 35% return. So if I got 500 to 1,000 people to join Discord at $2 a month, that's $2,000. And if you guys are, if anybody's helping me admin, you're sending me links and it's popping up on my phone. I'm obviously gonna want to share that money, like you know what I mean. Like I want to pay you for your services, if that makes sense. Let's see. I can remove the steering knuckle without moving the CV axle. 94 Ranger 4x4. I had a 98 for the 5-speed. That's got the what is that? The 8.5-inch rear end. The truck axle, same thing the same axle they had on the Mustang. Matter of fact, I think it's the same axle that my '09 Mustang has. 373s in it. That thing will do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. You can't choose specific people, only random gifted memberships. Well, that seems stupid. Like, how do you grandfather in people that have been with you for, like, the last 4 years? Like, you guys, I don't want to charge you. I sent the bike and the Discord link from the Shell server set up. I've got some plans stopping any trolls unless they pay. Cool. So, back to the Goldwing. Are you going to get it? Like, even though it's in parts, are you still going to buy it? Put it together? My buddy Dwayne here in town, it's almost the identical bike, and it looked like a fucking pile of shit when he bought it. But he got that thing chooched up, and it's badass now. He took like I said, he took the fairings off and stripped it down to like its frame, and it looks like a giant Buell. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like a huge Sporty with a boxer engine in it. And it's fast. That fucker scoots. I don't think people realize how fast those Goldwings were. Especially the new ones, they got car engines in them, for fuck's sake. I think like a 2.4 liter V6. Positively negative. I hate Gen X. Here's the beauty about Gen X. You have one of two options. One, apathy. We don't give a fuck. Or two, joy. We relish in your anger and pain. Like the fact that you hate us pleases us. As a matter of fact, it also helps because it helps me disseminate like your value as a person. Like the fact that you say you don't like Gen X, that tells me that you're not worth knowing. So you're actually helping us out too. That's good information. I appreciate it. I need a 75 scrambler. Oh, let me. Is that what I think it is? Let me see here. I'm gonna look that up before I open my mouth. 175. Because they got that's the Triumph, right? Or the Honda. There's two. There's a Triumph and a Honda. And both are fucking awesome. I had an old Honda 250. Yeah, that's almost exactly what I had. Dude, see, those are awesome. They're just like little putters. You know, you're not going anywhere fast, but you get the Lloyd. What was it, Dumb and Dumber? The Lloyd Christmas helmet with the goggles. Fuck yeah, baby. Put a big old mohawk on it. You're supposed to ask what gen I am. I don't care though. Is it gay that this is bothering me? Well, okay, I'll bite. What generation are you? Is it gay that this is bothering me? My dad left when I was 7, and the past 2 years has given me and my brother shit for not wanting to stay over at his house for the holidays. Is it gay? My dad left when I was 7, and the past 2 years, um, yeah. So I can understand like a man in aging, getting older, wanting to repair his family and putting effort in. And from his point of view, maybe he's not getting the return of investment. Maybe he thought he could make everything okay. But what he needs to understand is in order to make up for wrongs of the past, if I offer you an apology, I have no fucking right as to whether or not you accept it. And it's none of my goddamn business. My job is to apologize, make right what I can, and move in a good direction. And if by the grace of God you decide that you want to spend time with him, so your father needs to understand that he ain't entitled to shit, and it's fucked up for him to think he is. I don't know the man. I'm just going based on what you just told me, but it just pisses me off that family members think that just because they're trying to do the right thing, you're supposed to just all of a sudden fucking forgive and forget. Um, it just doesn't work that way. And I'm living it in my life right now. Like I did some things in the past, and I felt like I've done a really good job of doing the right thing ever since then. But the fact of the matter is those issues never got resolved for that person from when they happened a long time ago. And I didn't realize that. But when it was brought to my attention that they were still harboring resentment from all those years ago, that's okay. We never resolved those issues. And I could say, well, I've been doing the right thing. I mean, I'm fucking for the last 20 years I've been doing the right thing. But it still doesn't change the fact that that hurt happened and we never dealt with it. And I have no right to expect that person to forgive me. Um, and if you're trying to get someone to forgive you, giving somebody shit because they don't want to spend time with you is not the way to do it. I don't know your family dynamics. All I know is I feel for you, man. I would say you are in the right to have your own healthy boundaries, and if you don't want to fucking spend time with somebody, you don't need to. You don't owe anyone a goddamn thing. Brakes were shot, leaking oil, a carb isn't on it. Bought it would be a gamble. I just buy a new one. Just get new carbs. Fuck that. Don't even waste your money or waste your time and effort on the old ones. Um, I'm still alive. What's up, Rich? I'm a whole piece of shit, but it doesn't resent much. But I don't resent much. Well, welcome to the club, lower loser. Uh, $300, just buy it and see what you can do. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like I bought a '66 Mustang, and it had the straight six in it, the Sprint 200, the 198 cubic inch, and a 2-barrel carburetor, and I was trying to rebuild that motherfucker, and those little tiny floats and shit. And I was like, "Fuck this thing!" I just threw it out and ordered a new one from Ford for $150, and they literally had it on their parts inventory. You could buy an OEM right off of Ford's website. Fuck, put it on there. Good. Good to go. Carb rebuild. Fuck that shit. Unless you're one of those like on the spectrum types that likes tinkering with that kind of stuff. Oh, more power to you. I just get impatient. Like, as I'm getting older, my dexterity's going away. Like, I have enough problem painting Warhammer figurines. I gotta bust out this big magnifying glass so I can see the goddamn thing. And I'm just not gonna donate my time to trying to rebuild some piece of shit carburetor that I could probably buy for $50. uh, You can get 300, but I have no idea if you accept that. Just put the offer out, see what happens. You look like I just turned 40. Well, thank you. You look like your mom drank a lot. Oh, yeah. Definitely fetal alcohol syndrome, for sure. What do you think about Trump did over the weekend? I love it that the liberals are losing their minds over the fact that a Venezuelan, a socialist dictator, got removed. Whether it was done appropriately or not, who gives a fuck? um, I don't know, man. Honestly, I like Trump because he's hilarious, but I can't help but wonder if he's not starting to get senile. Do you think maybe he's losing his mind a little bit? Like, I'm just seeing some cracks in his logic. So, like the Trump class battleship. What the fuck? Like, I, I love it. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, Trump class battleship, that's great. But that is not what our fucking Navy needs. It's stupid. I think it's awesome. I mean, if we had 2 or 3 of those in inventory right now, on top of all the littoral combat, vessels and everything, we need like smaller like missile frigates. We need like a shit ton of them, and we need them yesterday. And with the way modern tactics are, shaping up with drone warfare and like long range sensors and all that stuff, you really don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So to have this like battleship that's an aggregate of like all the fucking firepower in the entire Navy, while it is a big fuck you when you pull that bitch up to someone's beach and you park it in there, and maybe have a concert on the flight deck or something. It would be cool to have that already on top of what we have. But as far as like a good way to spend money to no, that's fucking retarded. Like I can't, I'm not exactly a fucking naval tactician. It's not like it's not like SOCOM's calling me up and asking me for my advice. But just what was the point I was trying to make? I fucking love Trump. He's hilarious. But I think he might be going a little bit cuckoo, and I don't think he's got enough people around him to say, sir, that's a fucking bad idea. Like that, no. Like, come on, Pete, what the fuck are you doing? You did so much good for our military. You got the recruitment numbers up. You got rid of all the fat fucks and all the trainees and all that other bullshit that was, keeping us down. And you didn't yeah, I don't know, it done. I love the idea. Battleship's awesome. I feel like he drew it with a crayon, and he's got a picture of him and like him and Melania, and they're all like sitting in the fucking conning tower or whatever, and pulls up to China, and he's got Winnie the Pooh, like. Come on, Don, I love you, but that being said, the battleship itself is fucking awesome. I can't. It's not really a battleship. It's more like a giant destroyer with 5 times the missile capacity. It looks like my son Aiden drew like a futuristic battleship, and it's got a fucking railgun, and it's got all the missiles, and it's got space marines, and it's got a well deck so it can shoot the LCACs out of the back, and it's got everything. And pew 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 pew, 16-inch guns, and oh, that's really cool, son. What about the smaller boats? They're like, oh, it's got those inside of it. They launch and they fly, and oh, it's like that giant carrier that fucking Shield uses in the Avengers. Actually, that'd be fucking awesome. You pull that off, that would do it. God, if we could have a Death Star. Great nipples. How do you maximize hypertrophy for them? Stretch. You gotta stretch the muscle out. That's how you max. People are like, oh, what about decline or incline? No, stretch. Stretch the pecs. He had the God of War, Jen Mattis. Yeah, I just didn't see that working out. Now, we all love General Mattis. He's like salt of the earth royalty to any Marine. But yeah, I just think, honestly, I think if there was one person who could, uh, he's a like a philosopher warrior. If anybody could like break his peace of mind and turn him into like a raving lunatic, he went from General Mattis to MacArthur. He probably would have an aneurysm. Like it's probably a good thing. I just didn't see that working out. The personality clash is too much. And Mattis is not the type of guy that's going to lie to Trump. He certainly isn't going to tell him what he wants to hear. So I was always curious though. Why didn't that work out? Why didn't General Mattis work out with Donald Trump? Like, it never had a reason. He just kind of quietly left. And that's the one thing that always made me question Trump's legitimacy, was the fact that he got rid of General Mattis. Like, without knowing really what happened behind closed doors, what was said, what was the transgressions. That was always a big question mark I had, because we all love us some General Mattis, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, that man could do no wrong. And if it is the fact that he's not a yes man, that pisses me off, because it's like, Don, you're a fucking billionaire. You didn't get to where you were by having people blow you. You need people to tell you what's real and what's not. Which then brings me back to this the USS Trump battleship. Nobody's telling this motherfucker no. Come on, man. How can I get traps like yours? Here, I'll show you. So, I'm going to give you 2 exercises. I was going to go up and wait, but I'm wasting too much time. Oh. I broke it. So, some people like to do shrugs, right? You have to think, like, what is the anatomy of a trap? If you look at the trapezius, the muscle itself, what is it? It's a super thin sheet of muscle that's like from the neck to the mid-back in like a diamond. And it's covering your upper lats. So most of the thickness that you see is not your traps, it's your fucking lats underneath. So, 2 things you need to do: heavy back rows, heavy rows, do them, deadlifts, rowing, much weight as you can. And to actually work the traps out efficiently, instead of doing shrugs, we're going to reverse the movement, moderate weight, and really all you need to do is, when you're locked out your overhead press, you're just going to press up like that. And you're going to wear this fucker out. Maybe go with a little bit wider grip. Boom. Do these until you can't do it no more. And you can do the whole press, you just like 1, 2. Now, the other movement called the handsome press. This is the lightweight movement. Start with a broom handle or something. You're going to press behind the back. And this rotates the whole shoulder. Same thing, you want to lock out at the top. Boom, boom. We'll put like 10s on here. This is a 20-pound bar. And just with the 20 pounds, I already feel that burning right up there. Daredevil boy. Thank you, son. You look like the guy who benches 400 easily, but needs a ride home when the gym closes. That sounds about right. Think you wild and fresh. Are your neighbors afraid? You know, I'll be honest with you. I think a little bit. I think I'm more afraid of my wife, though. Are you 100% back from your injury? Yes. Well, as far as like uh, healed, yes. Yeah, let's do it. Gotta get the good lighting. One little one, one big one. But I'm not a bodybuilder. All I care about is how much weight I can move for one rep. Oh yeah, so I don't like to lift with shoes on, and these are actually I have 3 pairs of Vibrams, and I have one just for deadlifting. They're almost like ballet slippers, minimalist. The only reason why I wear them for competition is because you have to. They won't let you lift barefoot for sanitary reasons. But these are. I've been trying to get Vibrams to sponsor me because I keep sending them pictures of me using their shoes. These cheap fucking bastards. Let's see. Agamemnon had me on Clen. Coach had me on clenbuterol. I can't sleep. Any tips? I'm gonna go to your page here. Go to channel. I've never used Clen, so I'm assuming I'm gonna subscribe. By the way, so I just subscribed to Agamemnon Fitness. He's got 19 subscribers and 5 videos. I'll check your videos out after I get offline. So, cleanse for cutting, correct? Now, I was 100% natural till almost the age of 46, and I don't really take much. I take normally, like when I'm not training, I take about 150 to 170 milligrams of test a week with DHB and a little bit of nandrolone, and there's some test deca in there, but that was for tendon repair. So because I'm 51, I don't come off, so there's no post psychotherapy. The most I do is I just bump those numbers up to train for competition. So as I get closer to competing, about 13 weeks out, that'll maybe bump up to 250 to 300 milligrams of test a week, and then in the past I've used Anadrol for 8 to 10 weeks, and then I just go back to normal, just doctor prescribed TRT after that. Clen, and I don't know a lot about it, but the guys that I know that take it for the purposes of for cutting, correct? It like dries you out, and it's like a weight loss drug, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Me if I'm wrong. But I do know like anabolics where you cannot sleep, trenbolone, DHB, Anadrol, Anavar, all of them. What's the other one? Schwarzenegger. All those guys in the 70s took it. It starts with a D. Dianabol. All of them can affect your PP and your sleep. And usually the reason why is because of a testosterone to estrogen imbalance. So what I would suggest is you got to get your blood work done. And if you're not able to sleep, well, Clen's also a little bit of a stimulant too, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here. But almost all of the negative side effects from anabolics and things of that nature can be cured by correcting your testosterone estrogen ratio. So what that might look like, for example, is if you were taking trenbolone, which I do not recommend anybody to take, but if you were, and your wiener stopped working, you would want to add more testosterone to the mix. So you're not taking enough testosterone to make up for the like trans anti-estrogenic or whatever. It fucks with you. Every man needs a little bit of estrogen. Every man needs testosterone, and if those numbers get too out of whack, stuff stops functioning properly. But it was clinic. I want to say, yeah. I guess I'm not an expert. Um, Cleanse more of like a stimulant, isn't it? Does anybody know? Anybody in the chat know? You have a natural circadian rhythm. What you need to do is be ready for bed, and the second you get tired, go to sleep. You have to wait for hours for it to happen again. Yeah, that's my big problem. Is I stay up all night. It's a fat burner. So I would honestly I would need to do more research, but um, so I mean, I would look at like the different stimulants you're taking during the day, any kind of diuretics, and make sure you cut those out well before you go to sleep. Get rid of all the blue light in the house. Like I have a black light up there. Um, that right there, blue light is that'll fuck your circadian rhythm up. You might look at like adding starts with a melatonin to your right before you go to bed. Like start taking melatonin. Um, but other than that, like I don't know, man. It's kind of one of those. Sometimes you just got to pay the devil his due. You know, we take these substances and they give you awesome effects, and you put the hard work in, but you got to take the good with the bad. You know, not necessarily saying that's the answer. I just saying I don't know enough about Clint. I've never used it. Not a bodybuilder. I really like. I walk around 10, 11% body fat, and it's like it's really just not that hard for me to maintain because I've been the same weight class for 10 years. So it's for me, it's not hard to dial in. But that's the reason why I haven't done bodybuilding. I mean, a lot of people have told me that I've got the build for it and that I should compete in a master's class. I would probably do pretty well. But the amount of work you motherfuckers put in to get stage ready is just absurd. I'd rather just try to kill myself lifting as much weight as possible. Thank you. And then I'm gonna go eat a fucking pizza. You know, like, what'd you have for dinner? I had a gallon of ice cream. uh, you got like marble-sized testes or what? That's a weird question to ask another man. I hope they're not getting bigger because I'm 50, almost 52, and I don't want any more kids. So I'm not that concerned about the size of my nuts. I don't know. They seem like they're fine to me. Like, you know, in the summertime, it's sticky and they get in the way. So smaller's better, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Like, I always thought that was kind of weird that guys were concerned about the size of their fucking nuts. Like, isn't that shit annoying? Like, when you're out in the field working all day long and you're sweating, you got that fucking thing sticking to your thigh, and it's like, ugh. Like, smaller's better. There's less shit in the way. You're like, but girls don't like that. I'm fucking married 15 years. My wife hasn't complained, so what the fuck do I give a shit? She's the one that has to look at them. Do you think 1 gallon of raw milk a day is very good for gaining muscle mass and strength? The gallon of milk a day, go mad. Here's my thoughts on it. Hard gainers. What is a hard gainer? You can't fucking stomach enough food to get bigger. There's guys that are like that. You know, you tell a guy that's 135 pounds and he wants to get up to 180 and he needs to eat 5 to 7,000 calories a day and you just can't stomach it. At that point, milk, candy bars, mass gainers, like shit that's normally bad for people, is going to be your ally because you're just trying to get the fucking calories in, assuming you're training and you're doing everything else you're supposed to do. It's a shit diet. But for a hard gainer, someone that just can't cram enough food down, it's a cheat code. Now, here's the downside with milk. Look at the sugar content in it. Uh, Whole milk has a fuck ton of sugar in it. So something to consider. So for people that are like, you know, maybe type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic or looking to cut sugars out of their whatever, carb sensitive. Is there anything wrong with milk? It's got a pretty good vitamin profile. I would say if you're not intolerant to dairy, then yeah, milk's fine. But just be advised, it has way more sugar than you think it would have. It's like it's almost as bad as drinking soda. So just, as a matter of fact, let me look and see how much sugar my milk has in it. Yeah. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right. It's better than yours. I would teach you, but I'd have to charge. So, serving size, 1 cup. So it's 150 calories per serving. So drink this fucker down, and there's your day. That's like, oh, that's over 3,000 calories right there. Total carbs, 12 grams. Total sugar. So 12 grams for every cup. There's 12 grams of sugar. Protein 8. It's got a good amount of good vitamins. Now we have chickens. I'm blessed with having my own chicken farm. We have about 30 chickens, and most of them lay eggs. And a lot of the nutrition I get is from those farm fresh eggs. And I will say, like, the nutrition profile of farm chickens is a million times better than what you're going to get from factory farm chickens from the store. So that's like, if you have the ability to have a couple hens, like, absolutely make the investment, because that's some of the best nutrition you can get for the money. Just make sure you just can feed them all the fucking garbage of your house. Like, it doesn't matter what they eat as long as it's varied, like, a variety of food. Thoughts on the whole Venezuelan situation? I think it's fucking awesome. We got rid of another socialist dickhead who decided he wasn't going to leave when he was voted out of office. I've hated Maduro for a long time. We were talking about fucking 5-6 years ago when they were talking about having to eat their pets and wait hours and line bread lines, and their money, they were driving around wheelbarrows full of money because it wasn't worth shit. I think they were using it, like they were burning it to create heat. So, I'm very disappointed in my moronic countrymen who are, singing the plights of the poor Venezuelan socialist. Like, you fucking morons. How it went down, we can talk about some of the ins and outs of that, but that it went down, you will not be missed, my friend. Now, what I'd like to see for the Venezuelan people is for the person that they fucking elected to be in office to be able to go into office. I think that would be really cool. Or have another election. Like, if we return the government back to the Venezuelans and they have a fair election, then I think that would be the proper outcome for the situation. Will that happen? I don't know. But Maduro will not be missed. Another one bites the dust, boys. What about bison milk? I would imagine bison milk would be good, but I don't know enough about it because I don't really have access to it. I do know this. I used to have horses, and they had cows there. People own cows, and they would butcher them and, like, you'd split, fill your freezer for the year. They had a bison down there, and the fucking meat was delicious. I felt bad though because I kind of got used to seeing him, and he was like a pet. You walk up and pet him, and he was pretty cool. And then one day he wasn't there anymore, and I'm like, what happened to Fuzzy? Like, I don't know. You want a burger? You're like, oh. And we used to go elk and deer hunting, and like some venison and that kind of, like, any kind of, as long as you're not culling diseased animals. Like, back in Illinois, when deer would get overpopulated, they would make it easy to go hunting, and but there was a couple times where you were, like, killing sick animals. So but I would think that aside, anything that's going to be more on the natural side of living is going to have huge advantages over commercial farming, because commercial farming uses the cheapest shit it could possibly feed an animal to get it fat, and basically, like, whatever corner they can cut to make it big and fat and as inexpensive as possible. And that's why they're discovering, like they were doing a study on eggs that you buy from Tyson, and like your vitamin D, your omega-3 oils that you would eat eggs for were a tenth of what they would be in if eggs you raised yourself and fed it just normal grain that you could buy chicken feed, without even making your own feed or letting them graze the grass. Um, Chickens are omnivores, so they want to eat the bugs. They want to eat the fucking the germs in the dirt. And the same thing with cattle. Like the main difference between a buffalo and a fucking cow is one of them runs free and can eat whatever it wants, and the other one lives in a cage and eats what the fuck you feed it, which is usually like not even what it's designed to live off of, like corn feed. Cows aren't designed to eat corn. They have two stomachs for a reason. They're supposed to digest grass. So we're feeding cows shit that they're not even supposed to live off of. Use weight gainer, mass gainer. So the only thing I don't like about mass gainers, dough harding, is because they're so expensive. Like, have you seen the price of some of the mass gainers? Like, that's a lot of fucking money. And it's like, you could just go buy a box of Snickers bars, and it's the same nutrient profile. Maybe better protein, but I mean, dude, mass gainers are fucking pricey. But if that's not an object for you, then yeah, mass gainers are great. Like you said, with a hard gainer, somebody that just struggles to eat enough food to get bigger, it's a job to eat. So you're the exception to the rule, because when somebody overheard me tell somebody just go buy a bunch of Snickers bars and eat them, he said that's the worst fucking fitness advice I've ever heard anyone say. And I said, well, first of all, bitch, who said anything about fitness? Fitness, dick in your mouth. He's trying to lift more. Lifting more weight has nothing to do with fitness, so don't get it confused. You want to lift more, you got to be more. You want to be more, you got to eat more. You can't eat more. Get some fucking Snickers bars. Like, I don't know, where's the bad advice, asshole? Like, what do you want me to do? Fucking, set up an IV or a lunch gun, and I'll shoot it right into his carotid artery or something. Like, you can't break the laws of thermodynamics. You can't create mass from nothing. If you want to get bigger, you got to fucking eat more. And if you can't tolerate eating more, and I'll be honest with you, dude, try eating 5,000 to 7,000 calories. It's on a regular basis. It's not that fun. It's actually kind of a chore, especially if somebody told you had to do it. Like, it's like when I'm doing water cuts. I might drink a gallon of water a day and not even think about it. But if you tell me I have to chug this thing, it's a chore all of a sudden. So there's that to consider too. Trump said the U.S. will run Venezuela. How do you think this will happen, and what will it entail? I think what he's talking about is, and if we do it the way I think it should be done, and who am I? I don't know. I mean, take that for what it's worth. We should supervise, and I'm all for us supervising fair elections, and then making sure that we remove Maduro, but who's to say some other socialist dickhead or oligarch's not just going to come in there and take his place? There being a vacuum all of a sudden. I think the U.S. it would be proper for us to supervise fair elections so that country can take it's the will of the people back. The government, elected by the people for that'd be proper. So if that's what he's talking about, and you know how there's fucking billionaires making deals, and I'm sure they're gonna have some sort of control or percentage of the oil and whatever. You got OPEC and you got the other fucking schmucks. Whatever. That I could give a fuck about. Like, that's happening either way. I mean, if you think about it, what was the oil? It was natural, or it was nationalized. So all of the oil profits were going straight to Maduro, which is basically funding Iran and Russia. So now it's going to fund the United States and NATO. Like, man, all right, whatever. But here's the cool thing about it. The people of Venezuela will actually see the fucking money from it. So now that it won't be privatized anymore, or state run, Ideally, I mean that I would think that's how they're going to do it. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Um, I've been wanting Maduro to get fucking assassinated for years now. Assassinated? Is that the right word? Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a big fan of collectivism. I don't know if you know that about me. Wild meat is like that, so much more nutrition, but you got to burn it too and have the money to spend on it. Yeah, plus hunting, it's easy to say, hey, Elmer Fudd, let's go elk hunting. But that shit's difficult. Like 203 times I went elk hunting with the boys, and I had the big old fucking 200-pound recurve crossbow or my 30-06, whatever. We go out for a week at a time, and sometimes come back with nothing. It was just a big old drinking party for the boys. And then when you do get an elk, like we were splitting it up between three people, and that motherfucking thing weighs almost 2,000 pounds. You got to get that shit home. And then you have to hire. We hired a butcher, and it was pretty pricey, but it paid for itself. He took a portion of the animal to pay for his services, but that's a lot of money there too. So but at the end of the day, like if it was the end of the world, and I had to go out and feed my family, I'm gonna grab my fucking pellet gun or my 22 long rifle, and I'm gonna start shooting pigeons. No, we're gonna go out in the brush and kill rabbits and stuff. Like that's really what's at if you're talking about survival meat and stuff. But if you can go out and get a nice whitetail or an elk or whatever, it's really good for you and it's delicious, especially if you know how to cook it. Would you rather be the best bodybuilder or the best father? Well, I would hope that, so being a father is a calling. Being a bodybuilder is a hobby, if that makes sense. And I'm not a bodybuilder, so. I'm just glad I don't have to choose between the two. With all the politics and economical tensions constantly rising across the world, do you foresee the U.S. engaging a war anytime soon? We're fighting proxy wars. I don't know. Russia's up to something. I got a feeling they're going to make a play on. Yes, I foresee the U.S. There's three potential fronts that we could get into a war. The one thing that's nice though is that China's realizing that their military is not up to snuff. They've got all the equipment, they've got the latest technology, but because of the rampant corruption that's gone on through their ranks, Xi Jinping is now questioning whether his equipment is going to be reliable enough to take Taiwan. So that maybe has bought us a bit of a reprieve. But with all the proxy wars, if you look at all the wars that are going on right now, a map of the earth, and our involvement or our allies' involvement in them, where we're fighting, proxy wars essentially, it's expanding rapidly. And even though, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of going to be. I can't, honestly, there's a big part of me that wishes we just go into Ukraine and just fucking mop Russia right off the face of the earth, but I don't know why we can't. I would like to know where the issue is or what the repercussions that we're trying to avoid would be if we did that. Because we would turn Russia into a fucking parking lot, and they're so inept, I don't even think, it would look like the Gulf War, the first one. But for some reason, we're just not doing that. And I know it's not the nuclear threat. I don't know if you guys know what goes into maintaining nuclear weapons. Everything from firing pins to batteries to the fuel itself, the rockets, the housing, the electronics, everything. There's so much that goes into the maintenance of it. I would be shocked. If I was Putin, I would be terrified to try to fire off one of my nuclear missiles. So I don't think that's the threat that we're worried about. So I'm not sure why we're allowing Ukraine to play out the way it has been, except for we're getting a fuck ton of research and development from it, and we're evolving our tactics because of what's. It's basically like a giant test bed. We're developing strategies. We're developing new ways of fighting. We're developing new ways of defending ourselves from autonomous vehicles, drones, all that kind of warfare, electronic warfare. So it's been really, really great for the United States to just kind of sit back and let it play out because we're just upgrading our shit as time goes on. But the thing that bothers me about it is, on both sides, and I feel for the Russians too, is the amount of casualties that are being produced because of the ineptitude of Russian doctrine. Like, they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. I mean, they're wiping out an entire generation of men that they won't be able to replace. And if Russia doesn't take Ukraine or any of the other Eastern Bloc countries that it would need to become, like, how are they going to replace the population? They're basically done. Russia's done. Like, they're 10 years, 20 years, there will not be a Russia anymore. There's no replacement population. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Um, would you consider me a geopolitical expert? All right. Where was I? What was I going to be doing? Oh, yeah. What time is it, guys? I gotta quit fucking around. WD-40 on this bitch. Man. Oh, it's stuck on here. Jesus. The reason I'm using these boards is because these handles are 4 inches higher than normal. So if I add 4 inches of lumber, it evens it out with a regular deadlift. Otherwise, you're giving yourself a mechanical advantage. Alright. I was going to do squats, but I think I'm going to do some deadlifting. 10:40. Get some weight on the bar. Phew. Mahero. Hope I'm saying that right. What's up? It's kind of quiet all of a sudden. Did I lose everybody? Got 8 people online. Alright. Well, if that's the case, I'm just going to do one more set here. Yeah, I'm glad I have this bar because I had my bicep surgery, so this has basically allowed me to keep most of my strength. Still feels tight in my back. How's that for a butt shot? uh, Competition's February 28th, and I'm going to try to stream it. It'll be interesting because I'm going to need help. So, it's going to be a long stream, too. Maybe I'll break it up into chunks. So I'll stream each squat, bench, deadlift. Yeah, the casualties in Ukraine, man. I've been saying that for a long time, and I get it. If I'm a Ukrainian, and I'm not feeling bad for Russian soldiers, but you look at their conscripts from Siberia. They don't even know what the fuck they're there for. No training. Baby, what's live online? Georgie, what's up, man? Oh, the competition? Yeah. Southern California. I don't know what the address is offhand, but it's going to be a big competition. They're combining the normal beginning end of year one they have here in Nevada with one in Southern California to get a bigger turnout. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good competition. I want to say it's some like Southern California Vista, but after I get offline, babe, I'll look it up and show you where it's at. Yeah, I'll click on that Discord link. Okay. Where is it? So the first movement I'm doing is primarily to hit the rear delts. You just bend over and just press straight up. If you want, you can get your triceps involved. But mostly what I'm trying to accomplish is stretching my back. Phew. The lower back's bugging me. All right, kiddos. I think that's enough damage for one night. Tomorrow's my first day of work, so we'll see after I get off. See about getting on squat day tomorrow. We'll do it together, Brent. Might be delaying our involvement in order to assess Russian tactics. That's what I think. I agree with you, Little Joe. 100%. dude, and I tell you what, it's working too. I mean, we've literally, um, we've changed our entire doctrine, our force composition since Ukraine started. You know, a lot of that's also, I don't know. I should start a second channel where we talk about this stuff. Because I love geopolitics. It's just kind of, it's hard to like lift and 3 p.m. Monday. I start 9 a.m. is when I have to be at work by, which I don't think is going to be my normal schedule, but. All right, kids. I'm going to get off, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love y'all. See you on the battlefield. Oh, yeah.